I was just picturing you in a crisis and just how panicky you would be.
Oh, see, you got me all wrong, though, Leinart. Little things will drive me absolutely crazy. If I like went outside and my car got stolen, I'd be like, wow, that's crazy. I wouldn't care. But if I went out and there was like a weird little scratch, I would freak out.
A little wound tight is how I would describe you.
It's not fun, dude. It's not fun. We are back, everybody. Another episode of Throwbacks. Me, Matty Ice. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good, buddy. How are you, man? You recovered from last week?
Well, first off, I'm answering incoming emails and texts still about the Josh Richmond episode. I just got an email from a high-ranking studio executive that's like, I can't believe you had Josh Richmond on.
Really?
Wow,
What'd they
that
say?
brought back.
Crazy,
He was like,
right?
that just brought me back in time to maybe even a better day. And yeah, we hope you all enjoyed that. I love that episode.
I hope everyone who listened just like, especially if they've kind of been on that journey that we were on, at least experienced like Hollywood in its best era. And not just because of Josh, just because that was pre-social media, pre-phones, and like you could really let loose and kind of do your thing. But he is like, I don't know how to describe him because he's one of one, right? He's just one of a kind. His stories, his path to that point, it's just, he was phenomenal, man. We could have talked hours with him.
And look, he's a truth teller. He texted us. He's like, just heard from Keanu about the episode. I'm like, wait a minute, you telling me Keanu Reeves?
You know he sent, by the way, you know he sent that to Keanu. He probably sent it to Robert Downey Jr. He probably sent it to Depp. I mean, and that's the thing. Those are his three best friends.
He said Keanu loved the episode. Now I'm like freaking, because Keanu Reeves is my guy. That's like my dude. I respect the hell out of that guy. He's one of my favorite actors.
Dude, I don't even know if we talked about this. Keanu, I was with Josh one day. Cole was probably 4, 5, or 6. He's probably around that time. We went to Keanu's house and went swimming because we were up in the hills. And I was like, I had Cole at that time. I think I was playing. So I was home. I was like, hey, what should we do? He's like, hey, let's go to Keanu's house and go use the pool. He wasn't even there. I just was at Keanu Reeves' house using the pool. Just with me, Cole, and Josh.
If memory serves me, in replacements, I feel like he was a lefty quarterback too.
Dude,
and there's
by the way,
there's this other legend that the Ravens invited him to camp. They liked him so much.
You always talk about actors being athletes in a movie and how bad they looked. He looked pretty good in the replacements.
He looked like a quarterback who could sling that thing.
Yeah, the long black hair, good looking dude. Keanu's a G, man. Like, what a legend.
Well, we just had a good little quick trip. I actually got to see you in person. We went to Indianapolis, to where the WNBA All-Star weekend was, and we did this fun shoot for Nissan. We'll talk a little bit more about it later, and we got some stuff coming to you content-wise, but I got a few takeaways from a road trip to Indianapolis. I drove from Cleveland. It's 4 hours. 4 is now officially my max.
Yeah,
can't do more than 4. Stuff starts hurting. I did the game where I just started calling people till people picked up. You were on a plane, so I couldn't even call you. You're like my one, like,
it's
I know
a great opportunity to get your phone calls out the way. That's for sure.
Mom always picks up. Connolly never picks up. So many of my friends. Bree, 50-50 sometimes.
You know what? Let me ask you a question. Outside of your mom and your wife, who did you call on the road trip? Like, did you call an agent? Do you call a friend?
I did connect with Connolly. I said, Kevin, I need you to eat up some innings. That's what I sent them a text after when I pulled over for gas after he didn't answer. I'm like, you got to call me back and eat up some innings on this road trip. My boy, Mac, Cincinnati kid, lives in New York. Great chef, has a great pizza spot in Brooklyn, Moe's General. And I went like 2 or 3 45-minute calls.
Oh, that's
and then,
good.
Like, an audio and a pod and an audio book, and I was done.
So what was your so Indianapolis? That was your first time there.
First time there, and you see it so much, especially with this Knicks, Pacers,
of course.
ECF, the downtown Market Square. So I didn't know what I was rolling up to. I know the Midwest pretty well, but I do gotta say, downtown Indianapolis, good sports city, good layout for sports.
Yeah,
didn't even realize the Speedway was right down there. It was crazy.
We've been there for the Big Ten championship game pretty much every year. And so we're always there in December. It's cold, a little snowy, but it's such a cool downtown because you walk everywhere. It's just nice. It's like it's a nice downtown. It's not one of these downtowns that's kind of, turned. So You walk everywhere. I felt like the WNBA All-Star weekend, it was pretty big, dude. Like I was like great town. Obviously, Caitlin Clark being there and the fever, even though she didn't play, that obviously makes it bigger. You could feel that. But I was really surprised and kind of like taken back of like how big it felt. People walking around the square there, the jerseys everywhere, you know, the activations, right? They had the courts everywhere. That we saw. It's just really cool.
Our
man.
hotel,
like kids everywhere.
We walked into the Intercontinental Hotel downtown. I think the entire
we
All-Star weekend was staying there.
We hung out with both All-Star teams pretty much all weekend by chance.
And then I remember too, I remember Josh Hart saying in an interview, he doesn't like, one of his least favorite road stops is Indy. He didn't say why. He just said, I don't really like going to Indy. However, they have maybe one of my favorite restaurants on the road, St. Elmo's, which is a old school steak joint. I was excited to go. We had a big Sinclair team dinner there. We roll in that. And again, half the WNBA was there. And I'm not going to lie, I geeked out over some of the players.
Oh, I was going to say you weren't thrilled on St. Elmo's. St. Elmo's is fire.
I thought it was great. I thought it was
great.
We
were sitting there. We saw, I saw Lisa Leslie. I actually waved to Lisa Leslie because she's a Trojan. I've met her a bunch. I don't think she knew it was me because she looked at me kind of in the dark. She knows
you. I feel like, you guys know
no, I think she does. But she looked at me like, who the f is this guy like waving at me? Because I didn't go in because they were in that room. We saw Sophie Cunningham.
Sophie Cunningham is where I'm basically saying I kind of froze up.
She walked by you and you froze up. You're like,
I like held the door and
you're like, damn, like she's cool. Kelsey Plum. We saw everybody. It was freaking cool, man. Like,
and you know what I realized too? I'm even short in the WNBA.
I was about to say, dude, I felt short next to all of these ladies who were like, and you know, they're all wearing heels and so they're all like
towering over
Aaliyah
you.
Boston. We were with Aaliyah. Yeah. That's we shot some content with. Aaliyah's great. I mean, Aaliyah's 6'4", 6'5". I felt bad for you because when I'm, you know, like it reminded me, like honestly, like when I'm in a huddle, like all my linemen are, you know, 6'4" to 6'7". So I just feel average. I was like, man, Jerry got to feel just real short.
The best thing though, something you will never experience. You'll never experience this.
What it's
is
like
being in a crowded restaurant like that with a bunch of other rather big, tall people. I could slip out of that place so fast, and
bro.
Nobody would even know.
You're the king of Houdini. You have no problem slipping out of any place.
No. After you almost murdered Eric Wells with the horseradish at
well, we're gonna post that video. So I told you about this. Like, so St. Elmo's is great, kind of old school steakhouse, great food, great vibe, energy, everything about it. They're known for like their shrimp cocktail with their horseradish sauce. We did that on the show last year. Me and Mark Ingram
on Big Noon.
I showed you the videos. Hysterical.
Mark, you almost killed Mark on the air.
God, it's so funny. Well, I have to post these clips, but I did it, and it just you like smelling salts will hit you, and you just kind of like this thing. It hits you way up to your brain, dude. And Wellesley,
you didn't tell him. That's what I thought you did. That was dirty. You didn't tell him what was.
He knows.
You didn't. Look, you downplayed that stuff was putting people on the floor.
Did you watch the All-Star game?
I did. I watched some of it because, like, you know, I drove back and then I came right back into fatherhood. So I watched as much as I could. I don't really watch any of the All-Star stuff like I wish I could. That's something that I lost.
I watched the 3-point contest. It was cool. Like, shout out to WNBA. They had a great weekend. It was star-studded. Seemed like it was a lot going on. There was a lot of partying going on. I saw a lot of those clips. They were getting after it.
You did the annoying thing, like you texted me when you landed and got to the hotel, and you're like, "Where are you?" I'm in the gym. I'm like, "Great, thanks, bud. Thanks, dude. Thanks for shaming me because you flew 3 hours to Indy. I drove in, and you rushed right to the gym as soon as you put your bags down."
I didn't rush to the gym. I just went to get a little sweat. I'm one of those guys. If I'm on the road in the hotel, I just need to get a 30-minute sweat. You said, by the way, your comment, like, talk about high maintenance. Your comment was, how's the gym? Is it nice? Well, one, is it nice?
I said, is it empty?
Fair. And you go, is it empty? I'm like, who gives a shit if it's empty or not?
Meaning, like, if I wanted to come hit a treadmill or an elliptical, is there one open, or am I going to sit there like, all right, I'm here while you work out, like spotting you?
I was solo by myself.
Do you get any PTSD from this time of year, knowing that like camp is opening up and starting to hear these guys, you like,
no.
You're happy that part of your life is over, the camp part?
The first year that I was out of the league, that I knew I was done. If I can go back, I don't really think like I wasn't like, I was more just like I think it's done. I didn't really think like what's next. I wasn't one of those panicking, right? Like I just was like, it kind of just was done. And I'm like, well, I'm gonna sleep in. Like I'm just gonna relax. I probably relaxed for a couple months, and then I got the itch of just wanting to do something. I gotta say that's when I got into TV right away. But I did not miss camp.
All right, we're gonna do our Nissan moment. We'll do some best and worst stuff. But are you even hearing anything yet? I mean, I know they're just reporting yet. Is there, because this is the first year now I'm officially ready for football. Like I enjoyed the break of basketball. I enjoyed having like the month of July to just hang with the kids and not really think about sports too much. And now I'm watching the quarterback show. And I'm starting to get pulled in a little bit. And I'm trying to figure out just where's the surprise team? There's always a team or two that upgrades 5 or 6 wins even from the previous year. And they don't have the same repeat playoff team. There's always 3 or 4 new playoff teams. I don't really have the feel yet. Do you have any feel for maybe that surprise team that might be lurking? I don't have it yet.
No, I
gotta think the Bengals are going to be better. They can't allow.
I think the Bengals are going to be better. I think the Steelers. I think
the division sucks though. I mean, it's sucking meaning it's hard.
I'm not like one of those. Oh, Aaron, they got Rodgers. Steelers or not. Like I just think they're going to be better. And I think the Chargers are going to be pretty good, dude. I think. I mean, again, tough division, but I'm telling you, they were. God, they were in the playoffs last year, right?
Yeah, everyone's very high on the Broncos. That's the stuff I'm starting to hear. There's a lot of Broncos.
Listen, man, we still got a little bit of time before camp. Let's talk some fantasy football.
Well, I don't want to say it because Philly's one of my least favorite teams, but I have a eerie, terrible feeling that Dallas is going to be really good this year. And it makes me sick because I enjoy them being bad.
They should be good every year. They got
they didn't have a quarterback last year. Dak was out for the whole, missed basically the whole year. So they didn't have a quarterback last year. Now Dak's back, new coach. Pickens.
Let me ask you a more important question in regards to fantasy football.
Okay.
How many mock drafts do you do from probably now? We're probably getting pretty close till all your drafts happen.
I'll do one in the next week or two just to feel it out. Well, for that meaning now, I'll do one, just totally take some flyers. And then once we get into first week of August, second week of August, I'll definitely do 3 or 4 snake ones. And I'll always do, and I want you to partner up with me on this one team. I always do an auction mock draft, which to me is the most fun because you can get whatever player you want if you're just willing to pay your budget. So, but yeah, who's the number 1 pick of fantasy this year? You got the number 1 pick.
I don't know, but I'll probably do 100 drafts between now and.
But you don't know who the consensus number 1. If you now, we're hey, you're on the clock.
I think Jamar Chase is kind of consensus. I think Bijan Robinson is up there. I could pull it up. I think it's Jamar, Bijan. I think Jefferson is still really high.
I feel like C-Mac is going to, once again, like always, swing so many. Yeah, Saquon, obviously. But I feel like C-Mac's going to swing so many things. Because whoever has the guts to take him wherever he falls to, and if they get the luck of it, is then basically going to have the number 1 pick at 7 or 8.
I've had him almost every year. And when he's playing, he's fucking great.
Did you ever care? So wait, I'm trying to think because I've been doing fantasy forever.
It wasn't
when you were playing. It wasn't as big of a thing. Players didn't even care about it. Maurice Jones-Drew was the first player that I remember to validate fantasy football. He took the knee famously at the 1 and then apologized to his fantasy owners for taking the knee.
It never really was a thing. I think I remember hearing rumblings about it. Not that it was foreign. I just didn't watch I didn't watch fantasy shows while I was playing football. It just wasn't. It wasn't a thing. And I don't even know if we were allowed to play fantasy football because you're essentially almost
maybe not.
You're betting on. You know what I mean? So I did remember some of the kickers. I think it was in Oakland or it was in Houston that they knew about fantasy football, but it wasn't it just wasn't a thing. And then a handful of years later, it's like knowing the spread, right?
All right.
But we're getting close, bro. We're getting close.
Not only are we getting close, and we spoke about my little road trip to Indy for Nissan. That's what we did the spot with Aaliyah Boston. It's now time to do a little all-time adventures driven by Nissan, the 2025 Nissan Pathfinder Rock Creek, which Matt Leinart drove all throughout Indianapolis.
I drove that car for about 2.5 hours, probably more.
With cameras
I drove that
everywhere.
4 hours, cameras everywhere. I'll tell you what, the Rock Creek is great.
Well, it is adventure ready and free from new tariffs. So I thought that everyone's reporting to camp. We teased it earlier. What are some of some of the worst parts of training camp for an NFL player?
Being in a city where it's 100 degrees and 100% humidity, like Houston, Texas. Training camp is there's a couple ways to look at it. One, it's exciting because you're back, right? You're back, and like, the season's right around the corner, and you're back with the fellas, and you got the locker room, and you're grinding and all that. Like it is fun to be back after a break. It's like, even now, like for my job, I'm starting to get the itch. Like, I can't wait to get back on the road with you guys.
It's time.
Ball. It's just time. It just you flip a switch and it's just time to lock in. The schedule is a lot, dude. It's like typically like 3 weeks of training camp, the first 10, 11 days, maybe a few more those are your longest days, man. Those are like, 7 a.m. to like 9 o'clock at night, all day, double days. And double days are not double days anymore. You can't go back-to-back pad practice. You can go pad practice, then you go like a glorified walkthrough in the afternoon. Then the next day is just a full practice, but then meetings after. So like it's definitely not as bad as it used to be, but it's just a grind, man. It's tiring. It's a lot. You're up early, you're weightlifting, you're practicing for 3 hours. You're going straight to meetings. You get maybe an hour and a half off for lunch, or you meet again, whatever you want to do. And then you go back and you tape and you go get ready for the second practice. Then after that, you got dinner, and then then you go into your night meetings. Night meetings are usually could be like 7:30 to 9:30 or 8 to 10.
Is that like during dinner, or you eat dinner and then go to your night meeting?
You're just constantly, you're just in meetings and practice and eating all day.
And are you in a dorm or a hotel?
Yeah. So the cool thing for Arizona, I think they do it because we didn't have an indoor facility. So we used to go up to Flagstaff, which is about 3 hours, which is about 2 hours, 2.5 hours, but it's elevation. It's in the mountains of snow. It's beautiful.
So it's cooler. Okay.
Oh man, we would be up there, it'd be 65 in the middle of a forest. It was beautiful. Flagstaff. We'd be at NAU, Northern Arizona University. So that was dorms. So that was real dorm life. Like I shared a room with Kurt Warner. I remember we shared a room.
You and Kurt were in a room?
Yeah, we shared a dorm.
And like, are your beds close? Like, are you just
we had our own bedroom. But so it was
but you have like a common
2 rooms in a common area.
Okay.
And then you go out.
That's so funny. I'm just picturing you guys like, Kurt, I told you, man, put your dishes in the sink, dude. It's the common area.
Could you imagine like right now, like Aaron Rodgers is 42 and he's in a dorm. Like, he's
in a dorm.
Yeah. So like,
if he's at camp, does he go to camp? Yeah, I think he goes to camp.
That part is awesome. But that's just the grind, man. And then Houston, I remember getting to Houston and I was like, it was 30 consecutive days of 100 degrees and like 90% humidity, right? And that was like a record at the time. And I mean, dude, you're literally losing like
weight,
6 to 10 pounds of practice of water weight. So like, I remember we walk off and you'd be guzzling Gatorades, or you would just be like boom, 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 put the weight back on, and then you lose it again. And they take care of us. We practice early in the morning to beat the heat. The afternoon, sometimes we practice outside just to get acclimated to it a little bit, or we go in the indoor. And then in Oakland was dope though, dude, because Oakland, I don't know if they still, they're in Vegas now. We used to do it up in Napa. So Napa was hot as shit too, but we were doing it at the hotel right there. They built a facility like that. The practice facility was right behind the hotel. It was kind of built into the hotel. We would go to like wineries for like our rookie night. Like it was. Well,
that's what I was going to ask you. What fun is there to be had at camp? Whatever little off time you get, which is not much. What is it? Just
you would get the same thing you'd hear. You'd go. Maybe we did like a comedy night, I think, in one of them. Maybe we did bowling one night, I think, in Houston.
Team building kind of stuff.
Yeah, you maybe go to a movie. At USC, we went to the AVP, the volleyball tournament. Pete would take us down to Manhattan Beach for the AVP. So or you always hear a little inkling like it's Monday, and like we would start hearing like, hey, Wednesday there's no practice, but it wasn't. But it was on the schedules. You start to hear that, like little kids, like no school, right? So we get fired up. We'd have off day, like, hey, you're off until if it's Wednesday morning. Hey, you're off until Friday morning. Go home, do whatever you want. Like we'd have some of the, after like about.
Would
10
you
days,
go like right home, like leave?
In Arizona,
leave the camp?
In Arizona,
you
I
were
would
right
drive home because you're 2 hours. Houston, it was right there at the facility. Yeah, so you just get away, right? So it's a grind, dude. The first couple weeks are a grind, and then after that, you start to get into preseason, and then that's when like an actual game week is. So you start to
simulate that,
simulate a game week. The times, the meetings, but you go home after practice, right? So, it's a grind, man. It definitely is a mental grind. I'd say it's probably the hardest part about the season, just getting through camp. Because then once the games are, it's fun,
I feel like I would for sure be the teammate that organizes the video game tournament for the team in off time, whatever we had a little off time. You want to know,
in Arizona,
I would be that guy.
In Arizona, we were up in Flagstaff. There's nothing in Flagstaff. Again, it's really pretty, but there's nothing. All they had was like a Walmart up there, dude. So we would go up to Walmart. And like that would be like our version of like, hey, let's go to Walmart today. And like if you had like a couple hours in between practices, or like you need to go get honestly, we go get an Xbox, or you go get a fan, or you get a pillow, whatever, something you forgot. Like Walmart was our place to go in Flagstaff.
Now, did you ever witness any of those crazy camp fights? Anything ever happened in your run?
Yeah, there's always camp fights, man. Always. Just because you're tired of playing the same dude. I mean, no matter what level, high school, college, pro, it's like, when you go against the same defense, the same guys up front, the same, and there's also a lot of guys that just jaw, right? They just talk shit regardless. After 2 weeks, it just gets old, and just be like, dude, shut the F up, man. Like, shut. And then guys up front, linemen, they're always just getting after it a little bit. And then, yeah, that shit's real though.
And every
coaches
coach
like that. Coaches,
well,
like
that's what I was gonna say. Every coach probably likes that, and every coach, I got to imagine. I was going to try to ask you, are there any coaches that may have been harder at camp than others? I feel like every coach during camp is dead serious and working you guys. There's no like easy coaching during camp. There's no easy
way out. I think it's sometimes like an example of that would be like giving us a night off, or like, hey, no meetings tonight.
Right,
like,
that's the best you could do, probably.
Especially when you're just, dude, when you get to camp, the first 10, 11 days are just a grind. Like it is what it is. Like you're just in it. Like you're just going. You're going. And you're trying to play cards. You're trying to like, you watch you get away from it because you're consuming it literally every day. But it is like it's install every day. And for rookies, it's trying to catch up to all the vets. And
that's what I want. Are rookies more,
and guys are trying to make the roster, so like it's serious.
I feel like there's probably a lot of over-eager rookies, first camps, and just ready to treat it like it's game day from the moment they walk in. Or maybe there's some deer in the headlights too, right?
I would say it's more deer in the headlights for sure. Now, at that point, you go through, like when you're drafted, you go through rookie mini camp, which is like in May, and that's just rookies, right? So like you'll have all your drafted rookies and then your free agents. So it could be anywhere from like, 10 to 20 players, and then the mandatory mini camp, which is everybody. So you do get a chance. Like I remember in Arizona, how about this? I'd tell this story. So I remember, rookie mini camp, I'm fine. Then it's team mini camp, and I'm there with everybody, Kurt, everybody, and you're there, and you get 3 or 4 days of real practice, like 7-on-7 team, all that, and then you're pretty much off. I held out for my contract in my year, like 10, 12 days into minicamp. So I didn't even go to rookie minicamp. And my first, or our training camp, I was like a week late because I was holding on. I was like, a quarterback. And my agent at the time was Tom Condon, and he got me a great deal.
And I don't feel like a lot of players were holding out back then, right?
There were QBs holding out.
Yeah.
And I came back probably 4 days before we played the New England Patriots.
Does that feel, walking in and holding out, but you sign? Like, did you feel anything?
No, I think, I was always really well liked and I think my teammates, I would say, like, I think my teammates love me. Yeah, but they also, it is a bit, they get it. Everyone gets it. And like, they got to meet me in the summer. I was there. Like I was always very likable. Got all my teammates, I would say, hung out with everybody. Like I was always just a great teammate. So like going in, they kind of already knew. They knew I wasn't like this
some hot shot. Yeah,
whatever.
Yeah.
They just were like, oh yeah, dude, get yours. Like, you'll be fine, whatever. But I remember coming in, and I was like 4 days before playing New England. And then, they were loaded, like I remember, like, rest in peace, but it was Junior Seau, Willie Mack, Vrabel, gosh, a brewski. And
the Pats. Those are the Pats.
And I balled, dude. I balled in the first game, man. I ran for like 60 yards. I was running all over the place. I threw a touchdown. It was my first ever game. And then that was the same preseason Denny Green
That was your
story.
technical first NFL game, was just going off against
my first NFL game was that. My second, I think maybe Denver. My third was at Chicago, which started the whole Denny Green. That's why we beat him in Chicago. I started that game. And then the fourth.
And you knew you were better, and you let him off the hook.
Yeah. Oh, that's good memories, man. Yeah, but training camp's a grind, bro.
We don't have anything like that really with acting.
But like your days are grinds too, dude. Your days are grinds too.
Different grinds.
It's a different grind.
Obviously, there's like rehearsal time. It's different with the show because when you start a show, you know you're about to go in for like 7-8 months, right? So it's not so much like camp. There's like little rehearsals, table readings. You'll go do wardrobe for 12 hours where they'll fit you for 100 different outfits. We don't really have anything that simulates what you guys go through unless you're doing a movie. Because then when you go off and you do like an indie film, some smaller budget film in the Midwest or some small town where you're staying in like a dorm and all you have is each other. You only have each other as entertainment and social life outside of work.
You were, and maybe it's different because you were a lead on a major show. I have a friend who was a lead on a major show, and she was in almost every scene, like in a show, right? Like literally, so it was like 14-hour days every day with like. Maybe it's not 7 days a week. I don't know, but like it's almost every day.
It's at least 5 days a week.
Yeah, and now
this is how you know that's the best part of when a show starts to become successful, because early Entourage days, right? It's all about days.
Yeah.
So when we're just starting and no one cares or knows who we are, we don't have a lot of money. So we're doing 5-day episodes for 30-page scripts, right? Those are all 15, 16-hour days. And in the early days, the four guys, me, Dylan, Connolly, and Adrian, even if it was a scene about Adrian and Connolly, me and Dylan are still in the background just being dicks. So we were there for everything. But then as you get to like season 3, 4, you get more money and more money. By the end, by season 8, 8-hour days. It's 9 to 5. Show up at 9 because you have like 11 days to shoot 30 pages as opposed to 5. So that's really how it goes with television. The more success you get, the more money. And it's just more time. That's all the money in Hollywood is time on the set.
I've never asked you this. How do you memorize your lines? What is your process of lines? Because I can't imagine lucky. you weren't ad-libbing a ton, right?
We didn't ad-lib. Well, with Entourage, we didn't ad-lib at all. I'm very lucky because I have a photographic.
You can
memory.
Just remember, yeah.
No, when I say photographic, I mean I can close my eyes and I could still think of a page in the script from the pilot where I could tell you where in the sentence the last word was before it began the new sentence. I have a photographic memory. With Power, it was a little different because that photographic memory is helpful, but when you're saying stuff like prosecutorial malfeasance, it's like, I don't even know what that means. I need help. So it was a slower learning process because you don't know what the hell you're saying. But I've seen some people tape lines, meaning like they'll tape all your lines and leave a space for theirs. So they'll be driving and they'll hit play and they'll hear your line. So that's how everyone does it differently. I've fortunately never had line issues. Some people do. A lot of people have memorization
I can imagine.
Issues. And that takes up a lot of time when someone... Look, I always say the worst thing, I think we talked about in a different episode, the worst thing someone can do as an actor on any set is show up and not know your lines. So... yeah. And the last thing, that the only similarity, obviously there's nothing physical, but I even joke around with you when we do this show where it's like I calibrated the coffee at just the right time. The thing that any rookie actor would probably need to learn right away on a film or TV set is brokering your energy. Like you cannot come out unless the scene calls for it. You gotta calibrate and broker out your energy perfectly because it's a long day and your big close-up on your big scene might be an hour 14. You don't know. So
you gotta just pound that makeup on, baby. Just fucking
stay ready so you don't have to get ready. If you love Wendy's classic Frosty flavors, we have some big news for you. There are all new Frosty Swirl and Frosty Fusion flavors, so it's the same creamy treat you've always loved, now with the flavor refresh.
So what are these new flavors? Well, thanks for asking. There are a lot, so I'm just going to list them. Okay, we've got the Frosty Swirls, strawberry, brownie batter, and caramel. Then we've got the blended Frosty Fusions, caramel crunch, Oreo brownie with swirled thick brownie batter sauce, and crunchy Oreo cookie pieces, and Pop-Tart strawberry with a sweet strawberry sauce and chunks of crazy good Pop-Tarts pieces. Not to mention that, yes, you can still get your classic vanilla.
Try them all to find your favorite. Are you going to be a strawberry swirl girl, a caramel crazed fanatic, brownie batter buff, Pop-Tart strawberry fanatic, Oreo brownie stand? Anyway, whatever flavor you're craving, odds are we've got a Frosty for it.
So clock in for sweet treat time with Wendy's all-new Frosty flavors. A refresh on a classic? It's got to be Wendy's.
What's up, guys? I just want to take a second and tell you about something that's been really great in helping me maintain a healthy lifestyle. That's Kachava. Whether you are on the field, off the field, or hosting a podcast like me, Kachava's whole body meal shakes will keep your body and mind nourished all day. So for me, my health journey has been a long road. You know, I got into some really good shape years ago, and now 10 years later, having kids, being pretty busy with this podcast, for me, it was really hard for lunches. I feel like I could handle breakfast well and dinner well, but I needed that great meal replacement, something healthy for lunch, and that's where Kachava came in. And first guess for me was the flavors. I said, what is this going to taste like? And chocolate has quickly become my favorite. I'm a big chia seeds guy. Lots of benefits from chia seeds. They also have 25 grams of plant protein. I was curious how plant protein was going to taste. It was pretty good, as well as 26 vitamins and minerals, 6 grams of fiber. And it really is good for me being so on the go. No, I have something. And my personal move is I'm a big frozen fruit guy. That's how I get the smoothie to be really cold. So I add a little frozen fruit. When I want to feel a little fuller, throw in a little bit of peanut butter right there. Kachava has been great, and I want to give you guys the chance to try it yourself. You can fuel your game with Kachava if you go to kachava.com and use the code Throwbacks for 15% off your next order. That's Kachava, KACHAVA.com. Code Throwbacks for 15% off. I'm curious to know your favorite flavor. Chocolate, vanilla, chai, matcha, coconut, acai. I said that pretty right. So again, kachava.com, Throwbacks, 15% off, and let me know how you like to use it. All right, everyone, listen up. It's time to flex your ruggedness in the Nissan Pathfinder Rock Creek.
Whether you're going off-road up a rocky trail on a weekend trip with your boys or driving through a snow-covered road trying to get the kids to school, the Pathfinder Rock Creek can handle it.
Yeah, that's right. The Pathfinder Rock Creek comes equipped with 18-inch beadlock-style wheels with all-terrain tires to help you handle the tough conditions on and off-road.
And with a tubular-style roof rack that has up to 220 pounds of dynamic capacity, you'll be ready to haul the gear you need to your next adventure.
I'm telling you, this is the one. It's the Nissan Pathfinder Rock Creek.
Let's go.
Intelligent four-wheel drive cannot prevent collisions or provide enhanced traction in all conditions. Always monitor traffic and weather conditions. Are you ready for, obviously it's golf related, my favorite sports moment of the week. Are you ready for this? So you obviously watched the British Open. You're going, can you tell everybody where you're going this weekend?
Well, I'm going to Scotland this weekend with my boys at Travis Matthew. Shout out to Travis Matthew. I'm playing, St. Andrews. I'm playing the Old Course. I'm playing, let me pull this up, Castle Course. Does that make sense?
Castle Course. Oh, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so I'm playing, I'm playing the Castle Course day 1 and the Old Course day 2.
So mission accomplished. I got Leinart to
really did, dude.
play golf. He's flying to Scotland. I mean, there's no more of a mission accomplished.
Tahoe a couple weeks ago. I'm going to Scotland to play with some of the boys. I'm going to reunite with my boy Reggie. Reggie will be there. Shout out to RB.
Well, I want lots of pictures and videos sent to me personally from that trip. So my favorite sports moment of the week, it was golfer. It was Scottie Scheffler. Now, we all know he won the British Open, but did you see his interview before the Open?
Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
Press conference. He basically had an existential crisis, but not one like that he needed help for. I think he's been dealing with this probably his whole career. And he questioned what the point of all this is. He's like, you win, it's great for 2 minutes, and I'm back here next week. And I'm trying to figure out a way to win. And why do I want to win this tournament so bad? Because it doesn't really matter.
It sounded like he was having a little bit of a midlife crisis. He's young. But
I loved it. And then he goes out and he blisters everybody like Tiger freaking Woods and wins by 100 strokes. Then he takes the claret jug from the British Open, flies with it to New York, and goes to the Happy Gilmore 2 career. Is that not maybe the best 5-day stretch of any athlete ever?
But let me ask you a question, because Scheffler's the best in the game.
Yes, by far.
By far.
Yes.
You know, like he just, especially the last couple of years, if it's any other person that says that in that sport, are they... I don't even actually.
They're in trouble. They're
probably.
They don't love the game.
Yeah.
That's why they're not winning.
Everyone actually came out and like kind of applauded him for just being honest. Like, dude, he's grinding. Like he's a family guy. He grinds. Like obviously he loves golf, but like you can tell that it's like, dude, that like they play every week, and it's a probably a mental approach. But if that's anybody else,
I think we're questioning their desire to
like, dude, if that's
win.
Rory McIlroy, like.
Oh, he's getting crushed.
Oh, he's getting absolutely fucking crushed.
This is why Rory doesn't win, doesn't have 15 majors yet.
I loved it, man. I love any time, and it's a different world now, but like when I was playing, it felt, me personally, kind of felt like you were always muzzled, right? Like you just couldn't really say what you wanted
stuff like
because
that,
you were afraid, like we talk about cancel culture and all that. Not even that. You just like, you're just afraid to say something because
you can't have feelings.
Whatever. You just can't. You got to be like, yeah, like whatever. No,
can't
like
be soft.
If you were like, Roger says whatever he wants, but he's also a Hall of Famer, right? So there's guys that can kind of just get away with it. I love, and we've talked about it now, like all these players have podcasts and like they kind of say what's on their mind, for better or for worse. I enjoy it. I like it. I like the vulnerability. I like the honest, like we don't like, yeah, he makes a shit ton of money. He's a great golfer. He flies on a private jet everywhere. But like the dude is still a real, like a human being with a family that's away from his family all the time.
I'm absolutely fascinated by Scottie Scheffler because he does not ever really show. He doesn't have.
I mean, dude,
someone tweeted like this guy. Someone put up his
mugshot.
It's like, this guy's been in and out of jail for a year. He just won the British Open.
Just in and out of jail.
I think he's one of the more fascinating athletes because, he gets a little bit of shit because it's like, oh, he doesn't really show emotion on the course. Every now and then you get a little fire from him, but like it's ho hum. Just gonna make these birdies.
He's got a little. I was listening to Jordan Spieth. He's got a little Tiger in him when it was like. Tiger just kept to himself, right? Like he just kind of did his thing. He like,
yes.
Now those,
you don't want to be friends.
They seem very different personality. Like Tiger was like just polarizing, and like everyone was like, yeah, he has no friends on the tour. Like I think Spieth, unless it was a fucking AI video, but like Spieth came out and said like, yeah, like he just rather, he doesn't really do all the corporate stuff. He doesn't do all that. He just shows up, plays golf, and leaves. He's just a goat, dude.
I'm just fascinated by him. Yeah, existential crisis. Because also, I feel like golf and other individual sports might be the only sport where you could really say, why does this yes, of course, I'm competitive. I've been doing this my whole life. I want to win. It's how I make a living. But does it really matter? You can't do it in football because you could get killed.
I feel
if
like
you just start to slow up.
Well, it's also an individual sport. It's just so different. Like he doesn't rely on anybody else but himself. So like it's just like it's like you're alone on an island and you control like your caddy, but like that's about it. I was just picturing you in a crisis and just how panicky you would be.
Oh, see, you got me all wrong, though, Leinart. Here's the thing with me: little things that would maybe you would gloss over and be like, who really cares? Will drive me absolutely crazy.
Yeah, you're like.
But if I like went outside and my car got stolen, I'd be like, oh shit. My car got stolen. Wow, that's crazy.
Isn't that
I wouldn't
funny
care
how that works?
But if I went out and there was like a weird little scratch, but I'm like, how the fuck? Why did that happen? I would freak out. But if I went out and my car was gone, never to be seen again, I'd be like, wow.
You're one of those that's like, my
big
wife
shit. I'm calm. I'm calm with the big shits, the little shit.
I always wonder just what it's like to live like that, to be.
Where the little things bother
a little wound tight. A little wound tight is how I would describe you.
It's not fun, dude. It's not fun.
Dude, it's not, bro. It's
not a fun place.
Yeah, dude. You gotta. I don't know, man. Play some.
But you do want me in a crisis situation. You want me, meaning I'm a good person to to be helpful. I'm calm. I keep it together. But anyway, he went from what's the point of all this to winning the British Open, and he brought the claret jug to the Happy Gilmore,
just absolute flex
to red carpet. It's just like what? But what a ride! What's the point to like I'm partying? Here I am with Adam Sandler. But it made me think of a lot of things, and I thought this would be good for our Wendy's flavor of the week. It's presented by Wendy's. Find your new favorite Frosty Fusions flavor today with choices like Oreo, brownie, caramel crunch, and Pop-Tarts strawberry. It got me thinking sequels. Now, there's a few ways we could go about this. I don't know what research you've done, but just comedy sequels in general, which are a little different. We're not talking Godfather 2, Terminator 2. Those are iconic sequels. Comedies are always a little tougher. Let's go through some of our favorite comedy sequels of all time.
This one was kind of hard.
It is tough because it's not a thick list.
It's really not a thick list, and it's also an older list. I found there's a lot of like there isn't a great comedy like I mean like Happy Gilmore too. I'm sure I can't wait to see it. That's comedy, but it's a sports but like. Obviously,
and then we could do like this. You know what's even harder is the sports movie sequels because there's really like 5 to choose from. But let's go. What do you have? Give me like your 3.
So yeah, I would say I don't really have an order, but I would say Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls, and honestly, because Jim Carrey is my favorite actor forever. And Ace Ventura was like my favorite movie of all time.
Yeah.
And then like the Dumb and Dumber and all that kind of stuff. But Ace Ventura was just fantastic. So that one, when I was reading these lists, I'm like, oh yeah, that one was pretty good. It wasn't as good as the first one was good. I went Austin Powers, dude.
The second or third, the Heather Graham or the Beyonce? Because there's
Heather
2
Graham.
and 3. Heather Graham. Yeah, that's a good one.
And then this one. So this one's a little more recent. And I fucking love this movie, 22 Jump Street.
Yeah.
So good, dude. I had some other ones on there, but that one with Channing Tatum, Jonah Hill, like that one made me laugh.
So I watched the first one not that long after we did the Josh Richmond episode because he started talking about his part in 21 Jump Street, the show. So it got me like, you know what? Let me watch that. And I'm set up to watch the sequel.
Dude,
really funny.
Bro. It's so funny.
Solid list. Okay, for me, I was a big fan of this franchise. I guess you can call it a franchise. I go American Pie too.
Yeah.
They go to the lake house. Just solid. You hang with those guys. I think Christmas Vacation counts as a sequel. Second. It's like its own movie. Yeah. It's debatable.
I think it's debatable, but it's obviously a classic.
And I'm not going to lie, I was a big Rush Hour guy. Rush Hour 2. I was into Rush Hour, man. Those movies made me laugh. And then this could be you could debate this one. Would you consider Bad Boys 2? Would you consider not a comedy? It's kind of like
if we consider
comedy.
that, then I would do like the Hangover 2. I mean, Hangover, I think
you could do the Hangover 2.
Hangover series were great. I was just trying to mix it up.
I just didn't think the Hangover 2 was nearly.
It wasn't as good as the original Hangover is a top 5 movie in my opinion.
So
it's not a big list, man. It's not.
No, and you know what's even smaller? Sports sequels. Have you even thought of any? Well,
yeah, dude, I mean, it's pretty.
You could pick any of the Rocky,
2 through 5.
Pick any of the Rocky ones. So if I had to pick one, I'd pick 2. I go 2 and then 4. I did not enjoy Karate Kid 2 in Okinawa, but I did enjoy Karate Kid 3. I did like when you brought it back to the Valley. Yeah. I enjoyed karate. Mighty Ducks 2?
Mighty Ducks 2 is fabulous.
But Gordon Bombay goes from coaching the Ducks to now he's coaching the USA. Junior Olympic team.
Yeah.
And he gets to bring some of his players. That's pretty big.
Who did they play against? Who was their rival?
Wasn't it Iceland?
Eastland.
Yeah. Because they were.
Yep.
I think there was like a story there where they didn't want to like do.
Who was what was the name of the coach of Eastland?
It's escaping me. What's the coach's name?
Wolf Stanson.
Wolf Stanson.
D2 is great. Also, Creed. Creed was great.
Creed is 100% a sequel, and it's awesome.
By the way, the Creed movies are awesome. Like those are like talk about going from Rocky to what 3 Creeds now. All of them were great.
Yeah,
and Creed 2 is where he fights Drago's son.
And this is for my film buffs. I don't know if you've ever seen The Color of Money, and I don't know if you consider billiards a sport, but it is technically it's a sequel from it's a sequel from The Hustler. So for all you youngins who want to go see a good movie, Tom Cruise, Paul Newman, Scorsese, just great fun movie. So I got one more little thing for you.
What do you got?
What are some sports movies based off of real events that sports stories that haven't been made into movies yet?
Sports stories that haven't been made into movies.
I could pitch you a few. If you don't have any off the top of your head, I could pitch you a few.
Pitch me a couple.
Well, all these have been covered in a lot of docs, but if we were to script it out, 83 NC State, the cardiac pack, that win, shocking win. That could be a good. I could play Jimmy V, maybe.
I was gonna say, yeah, you could.
I'm at the age where I could play Valvano.
Jimmy V. Yeah, you could play Valvano. Yeah.
Also, another movie I could be in, Malice in the Palace. I could definitely be in that.
I don't think that's a good movie though, because what's the ending? Everyone just gets their ass kicked.
Okay, what about
you need
1994? I have the one that's like undeniably the GOAT. 1994 MLB strike, which arguably or inarguably killed the Montreal Expos. They did not survive. They were in first place. Yankees were in first place. They end the season. They did a fake World Series exhibition, and then the Expos were gone. One of the best hats in baseball ever.
I was a part of a strike, NFL strike.
Was it fun to be? I mean, I've been a lot of union strikes.
I coached a flag football team.
Is that when you started being the OC and you were getting crazy obsessive?
I didn't even coach my kid. I just coached a team in our leagues down in Orange County. I got to be honest with you. I'm not seeing either of those movies.
Okay. 2007 Appalachian State over Michigan in the Big House. Tiny FCS school.
That's one of those good feel good football movies for sure.
All right. Now these are the big
football movies movies are good because you an upset, like you can make a good story about it.
These are the big three that I think you will enjoy. The 2021 the heist of the sale of a rare Mickey Mantle card. Mickey Mantle's card sold for $12.6 million.
Oh, yeah, you could.
Can I sell you on a heist movie about that card? You're in
all day.
Second place, and Jeff Pearlman has these next two. He wrote them as books. 90s Cowboys. We're talking Irvin, Leon, Lett. We're going Troy.
That's rated X. That's rated X.
Then the ultimate story. This is the ultimate sports story. I don't know how this is not a a show. They've made documentaries. It's the 86 Mets. And the book, if you guys ever want a good book out there, if you have not read When the Bad Guys Won, 86 Mets, these dudes on the flight home from Houston after winning the NLCS, they wrecked the plane. Oh yeah, someone put in our chat the 06 Rose Bowl. Sure, why not?
Yeah, why not? Let's just do it.
So
I've been getting asked to do. People want to do a doc on our era because we did a 30 for 30.
Right. I don't feel like it covered it. How did you feel about do you feel like it covered it enough?
Well, definitely not enough, but I thought it was good. Yeah, there's way more because a lot of that was sort of geared towards Reggie at the end. This one kind of like obviously like Swamp Kings with Florida and Urban, I thought was fascinating, was pretty cool. Yeah, I've been kind of approached about potentially like making a doc out of that time in the era of USC football and the dynasty, which I think people would love to watch. I mean, people love sports docs.
Yeah, so I guess you would in thinking about that, if I was producing that, obviously you and Reggie are the first two, right? We go after you guys because then if we get you to say yes and Reggie says yes, we can start going.
Reggie would be a tough sell. But
maybe that's it. Maybe you say yes, then they go to Reggie. Like, well, Maddie's in, and they go to maybe Pete. Probably got the call too.
Pete would do it. Pete did the 30 for 30. Lendell White would be fascinating.
Can we get Lendell White on the show?
You probably get like a guy like Clay Matthews, even though he was like he was a young at the end of that, but
he
kinda,
was, yeah.
A lot of those guys that were on our squad like became. I mean, Clay's a Hall of Famer. You know, like a lot of those younger players at that time. There's enough star power.
Who wasn't covered in the 30 for 30 that you would say, who needs their own like 5-minute segment in the movie for your former teammate? Which player do you not think that maybe if in another doc would get a lot more shine?
I mean, Alex Holmes was the king. He connected us to Hollywood. He was our tight end. He's a great player.
How did he connect? Was he from Hollywood? Like, was he an LA kid? Is that how it happened? Or he was just about it?
I mean, we talked about him on the episode last week. Like Josh, he just went out and he was always one of those guys who understood how to network and meet people and build relationships at a young age. Really smart dude. And a hell of an athlete. He was really good. And he just it was a connector. He connected and he stayed in touch and he just knew how to do that. He could talk to anybody, he had the personality, all those things. And he became the guy. He became, hey, we need this kid's coming in this weekend. We want him done. Like Alex was
call Alex.
He was the guy. He hosted everybody. He was sort of, if he didn't host you, he hosted you, he was like the umbrella. Every recruit that came in, who'd be good, who didn't get his shine was Mike Williams. Because Mike Williams,
I'm interested in that.
He's at USC now. He's in player development, but he left early. His whole story, and not necessarily his story, because he left and did the whole supplemental draft and tried to do what Maurice Claret did and it didn't work out. And but we won the national championship without him, and he should have been on the team, which is fucking crazy because he was like he was like a Shaq to the NBA. He was the most dominant player I had seen in that era.
Because he's enormous, right?
He's 6'5". He was an absolute animal.
6'5".
And he was just 240, could run, like he was a beast. He would be one that would be like, oh shit, I remember how good he was.
Sometimes having a lot of options can be a good thing, but just as often it could feel a little bit overwhelming. I know me, when I'm trying to even figure out which TV show to watch or what movie to stream to sit down with, or even sitting down in a restaurant. Sometimes you get those giant menus that have 150 options and you just can't figure out what to order.
Yeah, Jerry, and the same applies if you're a business owner who's hiring. It can be overwhelming to have too many candidates to sort through, but you're in luck. ZipRecruiter now gives you the power to proactively find and connect with the best ones quickly. How? Through their innovative resume database. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/throwbacks.
Yeah, ZipRecruiter's resume database uses advanced filtering to quickly hone in on the top candidates for your roles. You could see a candidate that you're really interested in, or you could unlock their contact info instantly. So no wonder ZipRecruiter is the #1 rated hiring site based on G2.
Skip the candidate overload. Instead, streamline your hiring with ZipRecruiter. See why 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/throwbacks right now to try it for free. Again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/throwbacks. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
When you speed while driving, you have less time to react to whatever comes across your path. A sharp turn could take you by surprise, causing you to veer off the road. Another car could turn out in front of you, leading to a fender bender. A truck could brake suddenly, injuring you and the other driver. A pedestrian could be walking their dog, and your foot on the gas might lead to a tragedy.
You may not think any of these things could happen to you, but you won't see them coming until they actually happen. When you're speeding, you don't have the time to course correct, and it only takes an instant for disaster to strike. The speed limit isn't just there to protect you, but everyone around you too.
So slow down, obey the law, and keep everybody on the road safe.
Speeding catches up with you, paid for by NHTSA.
We're going to do Control Your Game, presented by NHTSA. When you speed, you have less time to react. Follow the speed limit to keep other road users safe. Speeding catches up with you, paid for by NHTSA. Do you know what I enjoyed while we were in Indy? For whatever we and I'm not going to give too much
away. Sleeping in
the
hotel by yourself.
We were driving. Well, yes, we were driving around. Cameras all mounted in the car, and I didn't have to drive. You were doing all the driving.
And I was really driving. Like I was looking over the cameras. It was a couple. We had a police escort and everything. It was freaking awesome.
But it brought me back in time, right? And then I realized on that day, I'm like, oh wow, it's 21 years since
which is wild.
Entourage aired, and we shot the whole season, and then finally, when the show's getting ready to air a few weeks before, we had to do the opening title sequence, right? Which is, at that time too, especially for HBO, was a big thing. And if you remember, it's like all our names in lights at various special places. Like believe it or not, my name, Jerry Ferrara, in the credits is in the Viper Room. That's where my name is. So everyone has a different one. But we did this driving sequence in the Lincoln with the suicide doors and all that. And we started because we had to do it at night. So we started at like 9:30 at night. And we did that. We drove that Lincoln all around Hollywood and LA till 6:00 in the morning, till the sun came up, cameras everywhere. And it really got me thinking back to 21 years, it definitely.
Are we going to get an anniversary just every year for Entourage? I feel like we just get it 22 years, 23 years, 24 years.
Well, 20 and 21 hit a certain way. I always post about it, but for some reason this year, even more than last year's like 20th anniversary, this year, it just like caught fire on all my pages. I don't know why it was different.
I think it's probably because we're talking about it a lot more. I mean, we're on the show.
Maddie, I could remember sitting in my North Hollywood apartment on that night, July 18th, 2004, when it was airing. Now, I wasn't watching it because I wanted to watch it because I was excited to watch it. I was watching it because I wanted to see, are they going to cancel this thing halfway through? Like, are they going to pull it off the air? And I just remember sitting there, bringing the whole show full circle, my Scottie Scheffler moment. I remember it ending and saying, this is the best it's going to get. Like, this is it. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You had no feel that it was going to be. I mean, obviously, I don't think you ever know, but like you can read a script, you can hear the story and be like, oh, and then you put yourself back in that time of LA, like, oh, this could be a fun show. Nothing. You're just like, shit, I hope you get through a season.
Well, some of my paranoia that you teased me about earlier, my
I can
wound
imagine
up tight.
now.
But also it's like, this isn't supposed to happen to me. Number one, I'm some meathead from Brooklyn. I'm not supposed to make it on TV unless I'm probably, for other reasons. And then number two, it's like none of these shows really make it. At that time too, so many shows come and go and are out the door. And then I remember hearing that HBO music, like that sound of the static and watching it. And then I was like, yeah, this is the best it's ever going to get. I need to enjoy it. And it did bring back some other memories though, too, where in the pilot, by the way, none of us knew what the hell we were doing in the pilot. Kevin Dillon called me E a couple of times. I'm like, no, bro, I'm Turtle. Like in the pilot, we just met 2 weeks before the first episode. So, we had to do this pool scene, and it was an indoor outdoor pool in this amazing house that's still there right off of Franklin Boulevard. And I have like this kissing scene with this girl after I say this awful line to her. I still couldn't believe I said this line.
What'd you say?
I had to say, make out with me and I'll show you where Vince eats breakfast in the morning, which Doug Ellen, if you're listening, I love you, buddy. That's a hard line for any actor to pull off. So, and then me and the girl kiss. Now we're in this pool. It's 2:00 in the morning. The pool's not heated. Somehow someone forgot to flip the heat on this $40 million mansion. Pool's freezing cold. It's November in LA. And I won't name the food establishment that I got food poisoning from the day of. I was so sick. And this poor girl, Courtney, I'm not remembering her last name. I was like apologizing, telling her, I swear I'm not contagious.
You had to make out with her?
I was saying it's food poisoning. And I had like a fever. I thought I was dying.
And she's like,
and
she's
she
kind of an
was
extra,
a true.
right?
Nah, she had
Not an extra,
she had
but
a solid co-starring part. And we get through. I'm in between takes. They're pulling me out of the pool, wrapping me with towels, putting me under a heater. I was shivering. This is where I knew Connolly was going to be my boy and was like already a leader, even though he was at a young age too. We got the scene, and they were like, "Let's do one more." Connolly was like, "He's done. Pull him." Like Connolly came running. I was like, "Take him out of the pool. He's done. He's done." And they wrapped me and sent me. I had to be driven home. And I think I was in bed the whole weekend. I was out. And I don't know why that sticks out.
That's in the pilot?
That's in the pilot. So I don't know if we could show it.
I gotta watch the pilot.
And then the other thing that sticks out from the pilot is we have this line where we basically tell Connolly's character we saw his girlfriend in a club messing around with Vince Vaughn. And he's like, Vince Vaughn, that puffy MFer. The lines are like, no, this isn't puffy Vince Vaughn. This is like old school Vince Vaughn. I see Vince Vaughn a few weeks after that episode aired. Now, he either never saw it and just didn't care to talk to me, or we went to one of those Madden EA parties. Mm-hmm. Do you remember? You've probably been invited to those.
Yep.
And they pair us up to play against each other. And dude was not friendly.
Really?
And I think it's because I don't know if he watched it or someone told him like, yo, they were making fun of you on that show. And he beat me in overtime.
Did he?
He beat me in overtime at that time where I thought I was a really good Madden player. He beat me in overtime. So, and the last thing that stands out. We all know Allie Lauder famously from the Varsity Blues, Whipped Cream Bikini. Right. But she's a wonderful actress.
Fantastic on, what's it called? What's it
Is it Landman?
Landman.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So
she's awesome.
This other thing stands out too. We could not get cameos, obviously, in the pilot or in the whole first season because no one knew what it was and everyone thought we were making fun of them. Wahlberg did a cameo in the pilot. Obviously, he's the producer of the show. We have this scene in a club where this Hollywood actress that was in the script comes over and is like, she's like supposed to be kind of crazy. Like, where's Vince? Basically, like her and Vince had a thing and he's kind of ditching her. And we point her in another direction. I mean, we were on set in the club, no Hollywood no actress. At one point, it was like, oh, Jennifer Love Hewitt's going to come by. I was like, amazing. Another point, it was Scarlett Johansson, and then no one was showing. And to the rescue, someone must have begged and pleaded and knew Allie Lauder. I don't know if it was Wahlberg. Someone begged her to come do it. I know she didn't get paid much. And Allie Lauder showed up at the 25th hour and did that cameo.
Oh.
So I've always rooted and cheered her on.
Shout out to Allie Lauder.
She saved us.
She saved us. If that doesn't happen, the show might not go on.
Might not go on, buddy. That's it. So what else for you? So you're getting ready. We're signing off. You're getting ready for Scotland and just enjoying some family time before that.
Yeah, dude. Appreciate you getting me back into golf, man. Just traveling to Scotland this week. What do we have?
You guys went to a concert too. I thought for sure I saw you and Josie. You were at a concert, right? Recently?
Oh, we went to we saw the legend George Strait last weekend.
I thought for sure I was gonna see something on social from you two making fun of the NASA guy who got caught at Coldplay. You didn't have anything like
man.
that?
I kind of feel bad for both
I feel bad too.
Involved. I mean, it's gotten to the point where
it's too much.
It is a little too much. It is what it is. I've gotten a couple good laughs out of some of the memes and stuff, but like, dude, it's like families are ending, man. Like it's not fun. It's not fun. I did walk into SoFi and I'm like, could you imagine if there's a kiss cam in here? And you get a little chuckle, but yeah, shout out to George Strait. He was phenomenal. This is my year of concerts. We're going to Jason Aldean next month with Nate Smith, who's a buddy. They're in Austin. Got a little Nelly coming to town. Might throw it back a little bit.
You going to Nelly?
Oh yeah.
Oh, we gotta get Nelly on the show.
Her.
We gotta get him on.
We're working on Nelly. Shout out to Nelly. Come on, Throwbacks, buddy.
All right. Well, we are gonna be off for 2 more weeks. We're basically gearing up, getting ready for football season. And we're gonna be in person. We're coming to you next in person. Flying out to LA. We've got a bunch of shows coming up.
Football's almost here, buddy. It's almost time to start talking about your New York Football Giants.
Cam Scatterboo. That's my only hope. That's what I'm watching this whole year.
Hey, he's a dog.
All right, we're out.